Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and another month is in the books, so here's everything I picked up on Blu-ray and 4K for December 2021. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. You can also find me over Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Movie Guy 365. Okay, another month is drawing to a close, so it's time to go over everything I picked up on Blu-ray and 4K for December 2021, the last month of 2021. And, as we go into 2022, things are shaping up to be really cool for the format, and I can't wait to see what comes out. Now, as far as everything I picked up, this wasn't quite as heavy as last month's video, which actually was two videos separating the Blu-ray and 4K purchases. So everything will be in this one, so no worries there. And, there weren't quite as many sales in December going right into Christmas as there were in November. I mean, November had the crazy Barnes & Noble sale, tons of buy two get ones. I mean, it was great. It was actually pretty heavy on the wallet. But there were plenty of new releases and stuff I picked up in general back catalog titles that, just wanted to put in this particular video. So let's not waste any time. Let's start with the Blu-rays. This first one, I remember watching the sequel a lot when I was younger. In fact, I think I've seen the sequel more than the first. And that is the anthology Creepshow. Finally have a physical copy of this. This is my first time, and I have been holding out for a while. You know what's going to happen. They're going to announce a 4K or something this year, and I'm going to have to rebuy this all over again. But I'm finally happy to have Creepshow. I mean, look, this is a classic horror anthology. It's been, I wouldn't say it's like one of the more original ones, but it definitely has its place in horror history. And Street Factory, I can't wait to dive into this one really soon and just check it out, how it looks and everything. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get Creepshow 2 now because I can't have one without the other. But finally have Creepshow in my collection. I'm very excited to dive right in. This one, I went back and forth whether to pick up a physical copy of this one or not. I really liked it, but I'm not sure, I guess I was kind of holding out hope that a 4K would be down the line, but with Warner Brothers and horror, it could get weird. But that is James Wan's *Malignant*. I liked it. It's not your typical horror film. It's actually kind of starts out one way, but has kind of a little bit of a, I would hate to use the word twist, but it kind of turns it around a little bit midway and towards the end. It's cool. It's got decent visuals. And, I think it's something that definitely has rewatchability. So, yeah, *Malignant* on Blu-ray. I finally got a copy of this. This one I was waiting for a good sale, and it finally happened within the last couple weeks. That was Boris Karloff in *Isle of the Dead*. Look, it's Boris Karloff. It's a horror film. It has that kind of like old school black and white noir style to it, and I love it. This is one that I saw, I think I was about 12 when I first saw this one on the old, the old boob tube TV. I think it might have been Turner Classic or something. And it left an impression. And to finally have this one on a physical format, I'm very happy. So I can't wait to revisit this one, and I recommend it. Yeah, definitely check out *Isle of the Dead* from Warner Archive. This was another one that I was deciding to wait for a 4K edition, but then I saw a tweet from one of the, I think it was the not the director, it was one of them, one of the creative talents behind the film, and they basically said that the Blu-ray edition is their preferred way, and that, if they try converting it to 4K as it appeared on Netflix, it doesn't look as they intended. So I opted to go for a physical copy of this one, and that is *Mitchells vs. the Machines* on Blu-ray. It is a shame they did not include the Atmos track on this. I would have really liked it. I think if they would have included the Atmos, I would have been perfectly fine, with just having the 1080p. But, it is what it is. A 5.1 is what we have to live with. But this is a very cool movie. I would highly recommend it. It's got kind of like a, from the creators of Into the Spider-Verse, that whole thing behind it. There's a great talent. It's funny. It has a lot of cool moments. And yeah, it's worth owning a physical copy of *Mitchells vs. the Machines*. This is the latest from director Wes Anderson and just arrived the other day, so I'm including it in this video. And that is *The French Dispatch* on Blu-ray. Love Wes Anderson films. Yeah, inevitably they'll probably do a Criterion. I'm still waiting on a Criterion for Isle of Dogs, so who knows if that's ever going to happen. And, you know, I could be waiting years. So for me, it's 20 bucks. Why not? It's in my collection. I'm going to watch it at least a few times before Criterion comes out. So yeah, French Dispatch. This is basically, I've heard this one described as the most like Hitchcock film that Hitchcock himself didn't direct. And that is Cary Grant and Audrey Hepburn in Charade. This is a cool, you know, mystery film, and it definitely feels like Hitchcock could have directed this one. It has been years since I've seen it, but this one was part of the last month's Criterion sale at Barnes & Noble. I had like 3 movies ordered. It took about 2 weeks for it to arrive, so and they wonder why Amazon is winning this, like, you know, this whole shipping thing. But yeah, Charade. This is a cool film. It has great visuals, it's a cool mystery, and of course the leads are what really sell it to me, because Cary Grant and Audrey Hepburn, they're great. They're amazing, and this is another just awesome film that is on Criterion Blu Ray, and hopefully one day we'll get a 4K edition of this. This is the film that made me a fan of Daniel Day-Lewis, and this is a great Scorsese film. The Age of Innocence. Yes, this is not one I go back to very often, but when I do, I'm always impressed of the performances. You know, Winona Ryder, Michelle Pfeiffer, Daniel Day-Lewis, the period setting, this costuming, just the locations. This is a brilliantly directed film. It looks fantastic. I'm hoping one day this is get a 4K from Criterion. That would be amazing. And I would rebuy this all over again in a heartbeat. So yeah, The Age of Innocence on Blu-ray from the Criterion edition, and the Criterion's edition of the Virgin Suicides. It has been, I would say, about a year or 2 after the film initially came out that I first watched this, and I don't think I've seen it since. But something just like, I just wanted to get a physical copy of this one, because I think, from what I remember, it's a pretty, you know, it's a very cool film. It's, you know, it's got some heavier moments in it, of course, but, you know, the cast is also very good. I mean, I remember Josh Hartnett and Kirsten Dunst just kind of like leaving an impression. So I can't wait to revisit this one. I'm going to do so very, very soon. And, you know, I may do a write-up on Letterboxd just to kind of like give my fresh perspective on the Virgin Suicides. And of course, Sofia Coppola directing. That's, you know, that's also just a very cool thing. Yeah, I'm going to check this one out again very soon. And from the Criterion Collection in their 4K Ultra HD offerings, The Red Shoes just came out a couple weeks ago. Great. I mean, Criterion is off to a fantastic start with their 4K lineup. The Red Shoes looks amazing. This is also another film that Scorsese just really references, you know, as far as his creative, like, driving force. But this movie is fantastic. I did a full review for it on the channel, so check that one out. And the picture looks just looks awesome. It looks awesome. Check out The Red Shoes on 4K Ultra HD from the Criterion Collection. For the 4K Ultra HD format, it's also been a very good month for new releases. Plenty to talk about. This one, I'm a big fan of the first 2 movies. The third one, not so much, but revisiting it for the review, it is what it is. I still feel that the villain's probably the strongest aspect of it, but all 3 movies are now on 4K Ultra HD, and that is the Karate Kid collection. First 3 movies, as I mentioned, still no word on the next Karate Kid. Sorry, fans. But what I really liked about it, and Sony's going to be doing this with the upcoming Ghostbusters films, and they gave it like the Dolby Vision grading. The initial 4K Blu-ray only supported HDR, so this for me was a no-brainer to upgrade, even though I technically only wanted the second film. But all 3 are now in 4K. It comes in a very cool packaging, individual slipcovers, which is, you know, Sony is honestly probably I would say they're the leader in the 4K format. They really just, I think they have an overall great mindset of how to put out a good product and to give the fans what they want and they're looking for. And also their transfers and audio experiences are really good. And the Karate Kid, I did a full review on the channel, so check that out. But yeah, it's very impressive as a 4K set. This one is one of my favorite films of all time. Disney released this one on 4K. Not the best, you know, picture and audio, but it's serviceable, and I'm glad I once again have it in my collection. And that is Who Framed Roger Rabbit. This is one of those cases I really like the slipcover more than the steelbook. Now, given the fact that I still like the Steelbook edition, if that comes back in stock, I'll probably pick that up, but there was a whole thing where that never showed up for release day, and it was only available for pre-order, so who knows if that one will arrive eventually in stores. Maybe we'll get lucky and I can pick that up, but Who Framed Roger Rabbit, I dig the slipcover. I love the movie, so I'm glad to have it on 4K. This one was released by Kino Lorber, and unfortunately there's an audio defect, so I haven't actually did a review or watched it yet. I'm waiting for the replacement disc, but that is Hard Target, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme, directed by John Woo. Yeah, I like this one. I've always had kind of a soft spot for this film because John Woo directed it. And, you know, for me, that was enough to get me into the door. So I can't wait to actually, you know, check this one out on 4K. And when the corrected disc does arrive, I will do a full review for the channel, so look for that one. This is also has become almost a yearly staple of my Christmas viewing because they're sorely lacking a lot of good horror, you know, Christmas movies. And Krampus, released by Scream Factory in 4K Ultra HD, scratches that itch and then some. Rewatching this again for my review, I love it. I love it. It's great. It starts out like a great, you know, little Hallmark movie, and then it kind of delves into a darker, you know, thriller horror. But I love it, and the Atmos track on this is really good. And yeah, Krampus is fantastic, and Scream Factory did an excellent job in the 4K. This one was a blind buy. I still haven't watched it yet, so I can't really comment. But I've had several people I know say it's actually very good and worth checking out. And that is Ron's Gone Wrong. I'll do a review on Letterboxd and let you know my thoughts about it when I do watch it, probably within the next month or so. But yeah, this one is available on 4K, so, you know, I'll let you know down the line what I think of it. This is the latest from director Clint Eastwood. I liked it a lot. Actually, it premiered on HBO Max. I really dug it, so I thought I would get a physical copy, and this was released by Warner Archives, so unfortunately no slipcover came with it, and you can only order it online. It's not available in stores, and that is Cry Macho. You know, Eastwood as a director, I like more than I don't like of his films. I think ultimately it really works, and, you know, I like the visual style that he puts into his films. Check this one out if you're a fan. The latest from director Ridley Scott. I'm going to say it. It's one of my favorite movies of 2021. And that is The Last Duel. You know, starring Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Adam Driver. This one is fantastic. It's a slow burn. And I've heard people that say they don't like it, but I saw this one in theaters and I absolutely had to have this one in my collection. And I'm so glad it came out on 4K Ultra HD. I would have been almost kind of heartbroken if this one was a Blu Ray only. You know, I like, you know, the best possible quality, of course. This one deserved it, and it's got a great audio track, and the picture is very, very good. So, The Last Duel from director Ridley Scott. I highly recommend. Give this one a shot. I think you'll enjoy it. This one is one of those movies that has been sitting on my Amazon wish list for like 3 years. It wasn't something I urgently had to have, but, you know, it was like $11. It's stupid. It's a stupid movie, but it's just one of those that you just sit back and enjoy. I like it a lot, and it's got, you know, the director of The Mummy, and of course Hugh Jackman early on, Kate Beckinsale, Van Helsing. I have it. It's in my collection. I'm going to be revisiting this one soon. Hopefully the 4K is good. I may do a review. Who knows? But yeah, this one, I think I remember when I saw this one initially, I was disappointed it wasn't as good as The Mummy. But revisiting it, you know, compared to what we get today, it's not bad actually. It's actually kind of fun. So I'm happy to be checking this one out again, and, you know, for $10, $11, why not? 4K Ultra HD edition of Van Helsing. The latest from the Sony Spider-Verse movies. Venom, Let There Be Carnage, in I feel a very nice looking steelbook. The 4K edition is really good. I did a review for the channel. I think my only complaint about this one is we don't have as much Carnage as I would have liked. He really only pops in at the last, Carnage as the character only really pops in maybe the last 20, 30 minutes of the film. But Woody Harrelson's great as Cletus Cassidy. And of course, Tom Hardy and Venom, fantastic. I could have done a little less with the back and forth jokiness, you know, that they took what made it charming from the first movie and kind of amped it up too much in this one. But it's still a cool movie. I'm very happy with the Steelbook edition of this, and of course ties in with the Marvel Cinematic Universe in a way. So yeah, Venom Let There Be Carnage on 4K Ultra HD. This one you know, this is a movie, another Scorsese film that I really like, and I'm kind of a little disappointed with the 4K picture here. The Wolf of Wall Street, unfortunately, while it does look nice, there's way too much black crush in this. So I don't know if that was a creative decision or something went wrong in the mastering, but you know, I would say though, if you don't own the Blu-ray, it's worth picking up the 4K. But the movie's worth picking up in any format regardless, because it's fantastic. It's you know, it's kind of like the Wall Street version of Goodfellas. It always felt that way to me. It has a great narrative structure, and Scorsese once again at the top of his game. So yeah, Wolf of Wall Street on 4K. And finally this month, the last entry of Daniel Craig as James Bond, No Time to Die in Steelbook form. This was my number 2 best 4K Ultra HD of 2021. This is, you know, when it comes to the Daniel Craig films, I enjoy them, but some more than others. And I will say this is probably tied for me personally with Casino Royale. Skyfall is still my favorite. That is my favorite, hands down, of the Daniel Craig Bond films. But this is, I would say, would be tied for second between that and Casino Royale. But yeah, great audio, great, gorgeous picture. Like, seriously beautiful 4K disc. And yeah, I mean, if you're a fan of the Bond films, of course, you're going to already have this in your collection. But yeah, No Time to Die is fantastic on 4K, and I highly recommend you pick up a copy. So that is everything I picked up on Blu-ray and 4K for December 2021. If you're interested in any of these titles, I will leave an Amazon link in the comments section below. If you use it, it really helps out the channel. But now it's your turn in the comments. What did you pick up on Blu-ray and 4K for December? And what are you looking forward to in the coming months? In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.